Okay, good afternoon and welcome everyone. Today marks a significant step forward in revolutionizing accounts payable processes. I'm thrilled to extend a warm welcome to all of you joining us for this insightful webinar on automating accounts payable, focusing specifically on the crucial step of capture and data extraction powered by Abby. I'm Brett Meacham, and on behalf of Allied Business Solutions, we're honored to host this session dedicated to optimizing and enhancing the AP process through cutting-edge technology. At Allied Business Solutions, we pride ourselves on delivering a complete AP solution that redefines efficiency and accuracy in financial operations. In today's webinar, we'll delve into the transformative capabilities of Abby in capturing and extracting data with unparalleled precision, a crucial aspect of modernizing AP processes. Our partnership with Abby enables us to offer an innovative solution that streamlines workflows and significantly reduces manual efforts, leading to greater accuracy and faster processing times. So once again, thank you for being with us today, and let's delve into the realm of automation and efficiency with accounts payable.
Great, Brent. First of all, thank you for that introduction. And on behalf of Abby and Allied Business Solutions, welcome to this session. I am really privileged that for this webinar, I'm joined by Mark Busso, who is a globally recognized subject matter expert, anything to do with procure to pay and order to cash. And he will share with us some of his industry insights as to what drives efficient implementation of accounts payable solutions. My name is Andrew Perry, and I'm a consultant with Abby, a global leader in intelligent document process automation solutions, and we are proud to be partnering with Allied Business Solutions. So let's get right into the agenda and share with you the topics that we'll cover with you today. The first is kind of provide you with a level set of the current state of accounts payable operations. What's driving invoice to pay implementations today? What are some of the challenges that organizations are facing with accounts payable implementations? Secondly, what are some of the potential gaps and shortcomings of existing accounts payable solutions in the marketplace? And how do we address those potential gaps? And looking at more transformative ways in which accounts payable solutions could be implemented, providing organizations with a faster time to value and faster time to implementation of accounts payable solutions. And then we'll talk about Vantage, which is a transformative platform to help you accelerate the implementation of accounts payable, and then talk about the business outcomes, and finally, to conclude on the value of the business partnership between Allied Business Solutions and Abby. So let's get started first on the first topic. And Mark, obviously, you have a great deal of insight into trends in the marketplace. Can you share with us what are some of the challenges that organizations are facing today with their accounts payable implementations?
You know, Andrew, today, businesses, regardless of their size, are asking their back office teams to do more with less, right? We have a challenging labor market, an uncertain economy, and pressure to free up cash to drive growth. And yet, when we look at accounts payable, well, unfortunately, it holds the distinction in the eyes of controllers as being the most labor-intensive, paper-intensive, and time-intensive finance and administration function. And that's really saying something, Andrew, when you think about some of the dogs we have at F&A, right? Accounts receivable, payroll, tax, and reporting. These are all onerous. What's going on in AP? Well, the problem in invoice to pay is that from the very start, from the moment we onboard suppliers all the way through to the point where we reconcile payments, we have this hodgepodge of manual, semi-automated processes. And all across the way, we have inefficiency. 84% of the typical accounts payable practitioner's day, Andrew, is spent on manual tasks. Things like keying invoice data, shuffling paper and email, chasing down approvals, fixing errors and mistakes, and responding to phone calls and emails from suppliers and stakeholders about where things stand in the process. And for their part, AP managers, it's not much better. They spend more time every day on transaction processing than on employee training and all those other managerial tasks they were hired to perform. And so this, Andrew, is really the big challenge that AP departments are facing these days. How do we get out of this endless loop of manual, repetitive processes that do little to drive the organization forward?
Yeah, and I would say, Mark, as well, that regardless of the size of your organization, whether you're a small business or large business, you now interact your business across multiple jurisdictions or across multiple organizational structures. So if you talk about what are the challenges that organizations face across, multiple jurisdictions and multiple entities.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where the problem only gets bigger as your business gets bigger, right? So now once you've expanded into multiple regions, maybe even different countries, well, now we're invariably going to have multiple ERPs, we're going to have multiple processes, different workflows, different regulations, and making sense of all of that. Well, if you've got a manual or semi-automated process, it's going to be really, really hard. And that's why things like the financial close are taking so long these days. In many cases, businesses have to wrangle spreadsheets to aggregate data and make sure it's correct. Who has time for any of this, Andrew? So if you're a small business with designs on growing fast, now is the time to automate your AP process so you have that infrastructure, that foundation, if you will, to push your business forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we thought that would be helpful. We hope that you'll be able to share with us your responses. We'll put up the poll. So Brent, if you could help us with that.
Actually, I'll go ahead and take care of that. We're going to go ahead and launch the first poll question, which is about to be displayed on your screen. I want to know which of the following is your top accounts payable challenges. Which of the following are your top accounts payable challenges? And you can check multiple boxes. Is it keying in invoice data received in paper emails with PDF attachments? Is it validating supplier details? Is it reconciling payments to invoices? Is it chasing down approvals? Or is it that you've got too many escalations and exceptions? Take a moment to respond to the poll question now displayed in your screen. We're going to discuss the results in just a moment. All right, Andrew. Yeah. So you talked to lots of accounts payable practitioners. What do they tell you is their biggest headache in their departments?
It's basically inefficiencies in invoice capture, escalations, approvals, which of course impact cash flow, impact lack of visibility into cash flow operations, working capital management. Ultimately, that impacts obviously gross margin contribution and profitability. So it's interesting responses I think we're seeing, Mark, here. I think the audience pretty well shares our sentiments as well.
Absolutely.
Keying in invoice data of over 50%, validating supplier details. I think it's pretty well consistent across the board.
Absolutely. Brent, what's the number one reason that folks are calling Allied? What's the big challenge that they're trying to solve when it comes to accounts payable automation?
They're just trying to speed up the process. They're trying to get these bills paid on time. And these poll questions here, chase down approvals. I hear that quite a bit. Trying to hold, once they find the person who needs to approve, it's holding them accountable, and not having to go through emails and chasing it back down later on, right?
That's absolutely right. We know that slow invoice approvals result in late payment penalties, missed early payment discounts, makes it difficult to be able to accurately forecast your cash. You're going to get more phone calls and emails from suppliers about where things stand in the process. Yeah. And there's a good chance that you might not pay those bills on time. And then that, of course, could lead to supply chain disruption. Well, the fact is, next slide, please. The fact is that The fact is that AP leaders have had enough of all these manual repetitive tasks. In a survey conducted by the Institute of Finance and Management last year, AP leaders were asked which tasks in AP would they most like to eliminate. All of the above was not an option. 53% of AP leaders said, well, it's manually entering invoice data. That was the number one task that they wanted to eliminate. 42% of AP leaders said manually routing invoices and payments for approval. You know, we've been talking about eliminating manual keying for years, it seems. After all, it's a really time-consuming, monotonous job with lots of big problems downstream if we seem to get things wrong. We all know, Andrew, that a single transposed number or typo can lead to huge headaches downstream.
Indeed.
And yet here we are in now 2024, and we're still talking about all of this manual data entry. What went wrong, Andrew? Why haven't we eliminated all this keying?
Well, I think it's the question of the technology itself. And obviously, the challenges that organizations are facing with the existing technology is the ability to properly capture invoice header and line item information, be able to accelerate the process, and be able to feed that information into the downstream business processes, whether it's three-way matching, integration with their backend ERP systems. That's, basically slowing down the process. The first step of the process, which is really capturing, extracting meaningful information from invoices. And in fact, I think this particular slide reinforces that particular perspective that you also see from the surveys that IOFM is conducting.
20% of AP leaders believe that too many invoice exceptions is their AP department's biggest challenge. We know that a single invoice exception could take days or even weeks of back and forth phone calls and emails trying to get to the bottom of things. And in a time when the labor market is very challenging and knowledge workers are in short supply, who has the time or the resources to manage all of these invoice exceptions? So it's often said that cash is king. But what Andrew is getting at is, if that's true, data is the trump card. If we can capture that data and get it right, well, now we're cooking. Now we can do something about all these problems that are bogging our AP departments down. Next slide, Andrew.
Yeah. So this brings us to the second poll question, and this relates to your issues with respect to managing invoice and manual processes with respect to your supplier invoices. So let's take a look at what your particular organization is facing.
This time we want to know what percentage of your supplier invoices require manual handling. What percentage of your supplier invoices require manual handling? None of them. They all flow straight through to your ERP without anyone having to lift a finger. Between 1 and 25% of them, 26 and 50% of your invoices require manual handling. 51 to 74% of your invoices require manual handling. 75 to 99% of your invoices require manual handling, or every single one of them. Take a moment to respond to the poll question now displayed on your screen, and we're going to discuss the results in just a moment. You know, Andrew, I dream of the Philadelphia Eagles winning another Super Bowl. But accounts payable leaders, well, they dream of the day when invoices flow directly from their supplier's ERP right into their own without anyone ever having to lift a finger. And unfortunately, whether we call this touchless processing, touch-free processing, or straight-through processing, it's been pretty elusive for AP leaders. And our survey results bear that out. We asked our attendees, what percentage of your supplier invoices require manual handling? Most of our attendees are manually handling most of the invoices they receive from suppliers. 22% of you say that between 51% and 74% of the invoices received from suppliers require manual handling. Another 22% of you say between 75 and 99% of your invoices require manual handling. And 11% of you, well, 11% of you, you're manually handling every blasted invoice that you receive. And what's really scary here, Brent, is that we know that many of these attendees probably have some sort of AP processing technology today, and yet they're still handling so many of these invoices they receive from suppliers. Brent, what's going on here?
it just takes too much time. It's there's nothing in place to handle the volume or the tedious exercises involved in getting invoices and things into a system. Is that right?
And Andrew, you think there's some shortcomings to the technology at fault here, no?
Absolutely. I think, what we're looking at is the current state of the technology, where organizations tend to use more antiquated systems. They're sort of disparate systems. They're not necessarily fully integrated with their backend ERP applications. There's too many touch points along the entire invoice to pay lifecycle process, which of course creates a lot of potential inefficiencies, as a result of which, of course, creates opportunities for organizations to improve their invoice processing lifecycle processes.
Yeah, so we have a
So let's take a
situation
look.
where AP is just taking too much time. And go ahead. Today, only 26% of all invoices are posted directly to an ERP without human operator intervention. That means that 74% of all invoices requires some sort of manual intervention, and in many cases, those are in departments that have some AP processing technology. Next slide. And AP leaders have made this a top priority to fix this problem. 38% of AP leaders identified automating manual processes as their #1 priority in AP for 2024. Another 37% of them, well, they want to find ways to improve processes. Put it together, this means 3/4 of AP leaders are focused on finding ways to improve their operations in 2024, not heady strategic initiatives. It's all about, well, how do we fix this problem? And that, Andrew, is really why we're doing this webinar today.
Absolutely. So that sort of brings us to the poll question about what sort of technology investments are you envisioning to help your organization's efforts to improve your invoice to pay lifecycle processes. So let's take a look where your emphasis might be.
So we want to know, what are your organization's AP automation technology investments? And you might have invested in multiple technologies. Have you invested in OCR technology? Have you invested in robotic process automation technology? Have you invested in AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning? Or have you invested in better ERP integration? Take a moment to respond to the poll question now displayed on your screen, and we'll discuss the results in just a moment.
Yeah, it's very interesting responses thus far. I think it's really pointing out a shared perspective around improving the existing technologies that are being deployed within accounts payable departments to improve the efficiency of invoice to pay lifecycle processes. This is, again, I think, Mark, is consistent as well what we're seeing around industry surveys that you have visibility to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Organizations are looking for ways to improve their operations, to accelerate their cycle times and eliminate all those errors. They want to do more with less.
Right. And so I think this is a really telling slide, I think, Mark, that you can speak to as far as what organizations are looking to automate based on the surveys that you have seen and you have visibility to.
With all this manual keying and repetitive tasks out there, it's tempting to think, well, the technology has failed us. And what I would argue is it's not that the idea of automation is wrong. It's that the way we've gone about applying automation is all wrong. In many cases, AP departments have deployed this hodgepodge of closed loop, single source solutions that simply just don't do a good enough job of capturing data and integrating it with downstream systems. These legacy systems in many cases are costly and complicated to deploy, hard to use, hard to scale, and really, really expensive to buy and to maintain. What you need to do is find ways to drive automation all across your invoice to pay cycle. And that starts with the way we go about capturing and validating and managing our data.
Indeed. So I'm going to go right into a very brief sort of segue into some of the shortcomings, and then I'll share with you a demonstration of the Abby solution that is designed to address these shortcomings that we've talked about in the last few minutes. So clearly what we're seeing in the marketplace is that current accounts payable solutions tend to be template-based. There are legacy OCR, optical character recognition technologies out there that require a significant level of customization based on needing different invoice types. And for each of those invoice types, significant coding is required. In fact, still, as you pointed out, Mark, and the surveys reveal, nearly 60% of accounts payable organizations still require significant level of human intervention and human verification of invoices that comes through the organization and improve the accuracy and recognition rates require significant human interaction. Also, the ability to extract, custom fields is problematic. If you have different invoice types, different languages, those are challenges that organizations are facing. Many solutions have limited language support, and organizations operate across multiple jurisdictions, multiple entities that require processing of invoices across multiple languages. And then, of course, that leads to issues with respect to optimizing the invoice to pay lifecycle process, lack of visibility to cash flow, lack of visibility into working capital allocation, which of course directly impacts margin contribution, as well as potentially supply chain challenges that organizations are facing. So the good news, though, is that there is an emerging new technology that's being introduced to the marketplace, which is really predicated on no-code design that enables line of business professionals without any computing expertise to develop easily and quickly applications to accelerate the implementation of invoice-to-pay lifecycle processes, and also to use more advanced AI and machine learning technology to create pre-trained invoices defined as skills that enables organizations to quickly train new invoices, continuously adapt and learn and improve the accuracy and recognition rate of those invoices, as well as to provide ongoing continuous learning that continuously improves the performance of invoice recognition and extraction rates, ability to out of the box to integrate with different backend applications, whether it's the RPA systems or ERP applications, and of course reduce resources, and also to ensure that as a result of this, organizations can take advantage of early payment discounts. So let me just shift gears and give you a quick introduction into Abby Vantage. What you see here is a very simple user interface that enables organizations to capture invoices from multiple channels, whether they are PDF, email invoices or PDF attachments, also capturing invoices from shared folders, as well as from fax and paper-based invoices, as well as to be able to capture invoices from mobile devices. So what you can see here is we are actually capturing invoices from a mobile device. There's no coding required here. What happens is that the invoices are being captured and scanned within the mobile device. There's an image enhancements capabilities that allows us to improve the image quality of the invoice so that we can improve the recognition and accuracy rate of captured invoices. Once the invoices are uploaded, then we can apply these invoices against pre-trained skills, and it will recognize this invoice relative to the pre-trained library of invoices. And we can see here that as the invoice is displayed here, Vantage allows you to validate the fields, validate information with respect to invoice header information, line of information, tax code, also the ability to look at bank account statements, country statements, also to look at the totals, does the validation against those fields, and as well it has built-in business rules that allows us to ensure the accuracy of the information that was captured from those invoices. And once that information is validated, including the invoice header information and line item information, as you can see here, then the invoice is ready for processing, and you can upload the extracted information to your backend applications, whether it's an ERP system or an RP system, to initiate and complete the workflow. So this is really a very simple process. It's an intuitive interface, doesn't require any coding. But in addition to capturing invoices from your mobile device, we can also capture invoices from a shared folder structure. As you can see here, we can actually capture multiple invoice types, multiple languages, and we can analyze the header invoice line item information and invoice header information, ensure that the accuracy of the data is correct. Again, using already pre-trained invoice skills. Doesn't require any coding, any template design. It automatically checks and does the validation based on the invoice line item information, checks the business rules to make sure that the information is correct. And then again, these invoices then can be uploaded to your backend ERP application, can actually conduct three-way matching of the invoices. You can see here, this is a German invoice, so we can actually recognize invoices across 200 different languages. And it processes these invoices with a high degree of recognition accuracy, typically 95% and plus recognition accuracy. So you can see here that Abby Vantage really accelerates and simplifies the process of capturing and processing invoices. The next step that I would want to share with you is the ease with which you can, in fact, create a business process workflow for managing your invoice application. So here we are going to create a workflow for a US-based invoice. And you can see here on the left-hand side that you can create very simple intuitive workflows, define the input channels from which you're going to capture the invoices. Then you can also define the extraction rules against predefined set of invoice types. You can see here that we're displaying a pre-existing library of pre-trained invoices. The machine learning technology then uses that library to ensure that we are looking at the right invoice type, and then extracting and classifying the invoice header and line item information. We can also apply manual review to check for specific fields within the invoice. We can specify those rules, and then also we can specify the output of the extraction and classification of the invoice, which could be either JSON or CVS format, as well as the output then can be extracted and integrated with your downstream business process, whether it is an ERP system or it is an RP application or for your complete solution. So you can see here that with a matter of a few steps in a few minutes, you can actually create a complete end-to-end invoice processing lifecycle process that enables you to accelerate time to implementation and time to value of your solution. So I'm just going to switch back to my presentation. And just highlight the business outcomes associated with the Abby solution, and highlight one specific implementation, which is a large Abby customer, Siemens. It's a large technology provider. And this organization has fully implemented what I just demonstrated to you, a complete solution within their end-to-end invoice processing lifecycle process, where information is coming in from multiple sources, multiple channels, email with PDF attachments, fax, paper, also mobile device, and using the advanced machine learning capabilities of Abby Vantage, which means computer vision to analyze the structure of the invoice. Also more advanced machine learning and natural language technology to extract with high degree of efficiency and accuracy information from the invoices, and the extracted information that's delivered into a backend application for further processing. In terms of the efficiency gains that this organization has realized, you can see here that in this particular instance, Siemens has generated and processed nearly 3.5 million pages. That's about 700,000 documents. And they improved the efficiency of the recognition rate from 46% to 95%, as well as improved the straight-through automation rate to 80%. So this is really speaking to the points that Mark mentioned earlier, and that is, how do we improve straight-through processing of your invoices to enable high degree of efficiency gains and enabling the organizations to be in better visibility to their cash flow. Also, of course, integration into accelerated integration to backend ERP systems, which then resulted in a 40% increase in overall productivity. When we look at, generally speaking, our customers, these are some of the key benefits and business outcomes that our customers are realizing from implementation of our solutions. You can see here, generally speaking, 30% less time in responding to inquiries, 91% increase in invoice processing costs, 81% improvement in faster processing times, and a 12% decline in late payments of Abby Vantage that creates significant efficiency improvements for our customers. And that really, I think, allows us to also reinforce the fact that, Abby is a recognized leader in the intelligent document process automation space. We are certainly positioned as an innovator in this market. And as a result of that, we have a large install base of customers. We overall produce and help our customers generate 1.5 billion invoices annually per year. We have 500 plus customers focusing on invoice automation. You can see some of the logos here. And I'll pass it over to Brent just to talk a little bit about the value-add capabilities that the organization delivers as part of the partnership that we have with you.
Yeah. So before we conclude, I'd like to emphasize that what we've showcased today is just one pivotal aspect of our complete accounts payable solution at Allied. So while Abby's capabilities are undoubtedly transformative, they're just a part of our comprehensive approach to optimizing AP operations. So at Allied, we offer a holistic AP solution that's designed to revolutionize your financial workflows entirely, from the capture and data extraction to seamless integrations with a diverse ERP system and utilization of M-Files document management for driving the workflow efficiency. So we provide an end-to-end solution. What sets us apart and why you'd want to do business with Allied as an Abby partner is our experience. 8 years ago, we were using capture, data extraction, and workflow efficiencies with the Department of Lands in Idaho. They have over 400 users, and we've integrated with a variety of line of business apps. Our talent pool, we have a great culture here at Allied in Boise, Idaho. We're headquartered here with Micron, with HP, and we just have this great talent pool available to us to deliver on these incredible solutions. And our process, we've documented over 85% of our processes here at Allied, and they're best in class, meaning they're the best in the industry. And that will provide you an efficient and consistent experience with us. Andrew.
Thanks so much, Brent. Thank you so much. And so we first of all appreciate your attendance. We are pleased to provide you with additional information. Feel free to contact and reach out to us. There are additional resources that you might benefit from. And certainly we'll be happy to connect with you and address any further questions that you may have regarding our joint solution. With time permitting, there might be some questions that we could address. I don't know if we had any questions posted to the chat, but I think we're just about up against our time and happy to address any further questions that you may have.
Brent, one question for you. What advice would you give to someone who's looking for an AP automation partner? What are some key attributes in a partner?
Well, a key partner would have their payables processes documented. They would have them on paper. ready to go, ready to look at how to transform these digitally. That would be a great starting point. They can reach out to connect at allied.tech to get started. So some other things is not only is this accounts payable, there's lots of business processes out there that are paper heavy driven, and they have issues getting that data into other systems because they're hand keying this information in. So Allied and Abby would be a great fit with any of those processes as well.
Andrew, how is Vantage different from the AP automation solutions that our attendees might have been familiar with in the past and might already be using today?
Yeah, so one thing I want to mention is, of course, Abby has been in this business for 35 years. So we know about document capture. We know about intelligent document processing. So we're an innovator, and we built and continue to enhance our technology. And Vantage is really based on low-code, no-code approach. It's designed to leverage advanced machine learning technology that enables our customers to really improve and accelerate time to value of implementation of the accounts payable solutions. And of course, we have the ability to deliver a wide range of pre-existing, pre-trained skills, not just invoice processing, but other skills as well within the purchase to pay lifecycle process. And so it makes it really easy for our customers to deploy this solution, generate value. And of course, I just want to highlight as well, we have a large ecosystem of partners, and we are really privileged to partner with Allied Business Solutions because they're the ones who add additional value to the solution. So we provide the core technology, we have a proven technology, leveraging our advances and continuous R&D around advanced machine learning and natural language processing.
And if you're interested in learning more about Allied or Abby, the contact information is on your screen. That's all the questions we have, Andrew.